Hey everyone, I know this sounds crazy for me to do, but I'm going to be doing a video about should the Vancouver Canucks trade JT Miller to the New York Rangers. We need to talk about it. It is the biggest topic in Vancouver right now, and in fact, across the league. Let's hit the intro and we'll get into it. I can't believe I'm doing a video on this. As you know, I'm a big JT Miller fan. Absolutely. Just got this jersey. You kidding me right now? So the big news is JT Miller is getting traded. And because he has a no movement clause, he controls it. He cannot get traded without the permission from he's got to give permission to the Vancouver Canucks. And there is a lot of smoke. Now, the Vancouver Canucks are the hottest conversation in the NHL right now, and it's for all the wrong reasons. For the rift that's happening, for the losing that's happening, for the way we're losing games, the injuries with Demko, Hughes, Hronek, Pettersson, Miller, Besser, all these things, right? And when you lose, everyone wants to know why. Everyone's not happy about that. And because we had success last year, it changed the expectations of this team. People expect us to be contenders and not pretenders. The injuries have been too difficult to overcome, hence the losing, hence the struggles, hence the frustrations from the fan base. And to mark it all off, the Canucks are like Fort Knox when it comes to injuries or comes to things that are happening. They don't say anything until they have to. And part of it is that's what adds the fuel to the fire. And I don't want to blame the Canucks organization for everything, but sometimes they just don't mention things. Like, why didn't you tell us that Demko had a significant injury that's very rare? No, we have to wait and wait and wait. But last night he gets injured and Rick Tocchet right away is like, hey, it's just back spasms. Well, you never say that. You never say that. So now, with all this stuff about the rift, and Bo Horvat's come on and literally been interviewed regarding that and said, you know what, they had a rift, but it's not as big as everyone's blowing out to be. It's because in Canada they care, and in Vancouver it's a tough market. It's a tough market. So is Montreal. You think that's Vancouver stuff. Go to Montreal. Go to Toronto. But it's a tough market in Edmonton, Calgary, Ottawa, Winnipeg, because Canadians care. We're passionate about this game, and we want our team to win. We've never won a cup in Vancouver. We finally have some pieces, and you're like, you know what? With this core, maybe we got a legitimate shot, and now everyone cares. So now there's rumors and rumors and rumors. Today, there's rumors about JT Miller going to the Rangers and Pettersson going to the Islanders. Like this is how crazy this has become. And everyone's saying now, who would you pick? And I did a video called They Can't Coexist. People got angry. Every video I've done regarding potential trades and people who could be traded, people have been so angry over the years regarding my content. And it's literally all coming true. It's like, yeah, I've been telling you about that. I told you that Pettersson almost got traded before he signed his contract. I told you about that. That's a real thing. But he signed the contract. He struggled in playoffs. And here we are, right? And Miller had to take a leave of absence. It has been so awkward in Vancouver. It's absolutely ridiculous. And now we got there are so many people, and there's famous people, like the big time, the national news guys, talking about this, and it's literally the biggest news of the day, especially in Vancouver land. But just scroll through YouTube or whatever you use for an app and just look at how many pictures of JT Miller are up there. And why would we want to trade JT Miller? I know he's a little bit older, but we signed him to an 8-year contract. He's the guy who plays playoff hockey in preseason, regular season, and postseason. He's a warrior. These are the kind of guys you don't want to trade, but you want to obtain. And it sounds like if he was interested in a move, the Rangers would be a place that he'd be open to. Now, some of you like, Trump, these are just rumors. Why are you talking about this? Because, for example, Nick Kypreos said, the Rangers and Canucks are talking about a lot of things, not just Miller. Pieces on both rosters that both teams are interested in. And then this is the one that keeps coming up. It said for 2 years now. Let me just make sure I say this correctly. Kypreos on Dollywall Sports, okay? Dollywall Sports on Kypreos Pod. That's what it was. The Canucks and New York Rangers have talked about JT Miller for the past 2 years at the trade deadline. Canucks asked for names like Lafreniere and Schneider in the past. And I don't think K'Andre Miller is a guy that interests him, but things can change. Like, that's what's being said. This is wild. This is wild. Okay? Absolutely wild what's going on in Vancouver. So here's the big question. Answer it in the comments. Live chat right now or later. Should the Canucks trade JT Miller to the New York Rangers? You know what my answer is? No, absolutely not. But there are scenarios where I would consider. If you're going to move him, I mean, that's 8 years times 8. I mean, he's 2 years into that contract now. So times 6.5 more years, right? That's a big contract. But let's talk about some facts, not just some rumors. The facts are the Rangers are terrible. I thought they were a top 3 team in the NHL. They are looking for a shakeup. They are not happy in New York. What's going on with their Rangers? And so they are looking for a shakeup. Makes sense why they'd ask about JT Miller. The other facts is JT Miller has struggled this year. He has not been himself. He took a leave of absence. He's walked through an injury, might still be walking through injury, and there has been a rift between JT Miller and Pettersson, and it may have been the present, and it was definitely in the past. Those are the facts. So, and then the other thing is if the Canucks and Rangers are talking about JT Miller at the trade deadline last 2 years in a row, that's interesting. Now, let's talk about that because it sounds like to me that the Rangers want to get JT Miller and want to trade Zibanejad and K'Andre Miller. Now, the Canucks are not interested in this. This is why there's no deal done yet, because we're talking about different players. Zibanejad is 31 years old. He's center, $8.5 million for the next 4 years. They want to get out of that contract. That is basically the JT Miller contract minus a couple things. By the way, I've got 101 people in this stream right now. If you're new, please hit the like and subscribe. I produce Canucks content that is passionate, realistic, and honest. I'm trying to take an honest take at this thing, whether the Canucks should trade JT Miller or not. This is who they want to do. So K'Andre Miller is a left-handed shot defenseman, 23 years old, only making $3.872 million. Let me just confirm that for you. Yes. And he's an RFA after this season. Okay. He's an RFA. So means that he wants to get a contract extension and raise, and that's why they're open to moving him. Here's the thing. We desperately need another defenseman, right? So this is one of the ways you could get it. I just don't know moving JT Miller for that is anything worth it. I don't know. But here's who the Canucks are interested in. The Canucks are interested in Alexei Lafreniere. Lafreniere. He He's 6'2", 196, age 23. I think he's Canadian. Is he not? I think he's Canadian. And I mean, has to be with that name. Right winger. Draft was not 2020. When was his draft year? What was his draft year? Lafreniere, his draft year was... I should have this number. Whatever his draft year was, he was first overall. He was first overall, everyone. So that's important. That's absolutely important to know. His draft year was 2020. Yeah, it was 2020. So I was right. Trust my instincts on those ones. So Lafreniere, 23, drafted 2020, Rangers first pick overall. The contract $7.45 million for the next 7 seasons. This is the one that the Canucks want. And the Canucks also want Braden Schneider, who's 6'4", 214. He's again only 23. He's the right-handed shot defenseman from the draft of 2020. He was number 19 overall, first round pick, 19th overall. Okay. So why did I have that twice? I don't know. But his contract is $2.2 million for 2 years. Okay. $2.2 million. These are the two players that the Canucks are interested in. They want younger. If we're going to trade Miller, go get a younger guy like Lafreniere, like Schneider, like both of them. And that is like, would you do that deal? Now, would we have to bring some stuff in return? Would we have to give up a draft pick? Would we have to give up Höglander? Would we have to give up? Who knows? What would we have to do in order to make a deal like that? I mean, they don't want to get older either, but this is a realistic thing. But this is where the stalemate is. So the Rangers, apparently, this is the rumor, want to get rid of Zibanejad and possibly Keandre Miller, and the Canucks want Lafreniere and Schneider. What do you guys think about that? Would you do that deal? I love JT Miller, but if they can't coexist, like I made that video, they can't coexist. People are so angry that I made it, and then now that's all people want to talk about. I have friends that are texting me who aren't even Canucks fans saying, what's going on with JT Miller and Pettersson? Because it's the biggest talk in town. Because what they're supposed to be is it's supposed to be McDavid and Draisaitl or Crosby and Malkin, and it's supposed to be Pettersson and Miller. The problem is they don't get along. And it's okay. They don't have to be best friends. They don't have to be BFFs. Okay? I have no problem with that. Can they coexist? I think so. Will one of them get traded? I don't know, but I doubt it. Unless we get a smoking deal in return. And some people said, well, it's Trocheck and a first, and a defenseman. Or no, Trocheck and a right-handed shot defense. So it's a Miller or Schneider. And people are like, well, and a first. Would you do that? I don't know. Trocheck's fine. Maybe he would be fine. We just look up this for a second? So it's Lafreniere is there. Okay, let's just look at this, okay? So they want to get rid of Zibanejad. He's also got a no movement clause. But Trocheck is 31, same as Miller, but he's the right-handed shot centerman, only making again, no movement clause, 5.625, okay? Until 2029. But Lafreniere's there. He's making $2.325 million. Then he's basically making just under JT Miller money now. You've got this guy. Is it Kyle Cool? I don't know. He seems fantastic. 22 years old. I like him a lot. But look at these guys. Like, look, the UFAs, the RFAs that are sitting here, their defense is like, what are they going to do? And it sounds like they want to move Miller, and it sounds like the Canucks want Schneider. Look at how much money they're going to be paying Shesterkin. 11.5, guys. $11.5 million till 2023. That's insane. That's insane. This team is in shambles. That's why they want to make a move. So if they traded JT Miller, and that's a big if, I'd want them to throw in Matt Rempe and this guy as well. But I think I'm dreaming as well. I don't know. What would you want? So I'm going to go into the comments now. This is going to be a quick video today, but I do want to go into this. Elfrin says, should we trade JT Miller? All depends on what we get back for him. I'd say don't trade him unless we get to the point where we need to make a move involving him. Don't get me wrong. If JT Miller is a part of the team, he's got that FU kind of game. Yes, he does. He plays tough. Canucks have time to decide before the trade deadline to consider trading him. I mean, also another thing is throwing in a guy like Brock Besser in the deal. That's true. Could be a possibility. I think that Besser is a very big trade candidate, depending on how much money he wants. Rome says, I say no to a Miller trade, but if something is on the table too good to pass up, maybe we'd have to. Rome, I really want to know. Would Lafreniere and Schneider for JT Miller be enough for you? Justin wants me to Alvin and Rutherford to trade both Pettersson and Miller. Demko looks like he's done too. Maybe we rip it down before it gets worse. Sucks. Yeah, but you can't do that because you have to have Quinn Hughes happy. I don't think you can do all that. But Hope Rain says his best friend is on New York, so I can see it. I'm sure he would rather Trocheck come to Van. Yeah, absolutely. Is Trocheck and him, are they the best friends? I didn't know that. That would be weird if they got traded for each other. Soul Search says, would the New York Ranger trade away Adam Fox? No, that's not on the table for JT Miller, Hoagland, or Demko. I'm getting a sense. No, they're not going after Demko because they just signed Shesterkin. But I'm getting a sense that since once again Demko occurred another injury last night, Demko is injury prone. Yeah, that's very possible. Dave, my friend, how you doing? We wouldn't get back for JT what he brings to the team. Maybe not. But you're probably right. Big Taco says, personally, whether the Canucks tell us all about an injury, we have a gauge on severity. If they come out right away and tell us it's nothing major, then he's probably going to miss 3 to 6 months. I know it's frustrating. Callum thinks that Miller's getting traded. I just got his Black State jersey right before he started to suck, and he had personal problems. I know, right? It's like, right here, buddy. We're same boat. Lafreniere is from Quebec, drafted during the COVID year, I think. Lafreniere, yes, he can be a star. I mean, he hasn't been though, guys. So he can be. Lafreniere playing for Team Canada. That's right. He's got a very good contract. It's very good contract this year, but it's 7.35 in the years to come. Lafreniere is playing for Team Canada. Okay. Braden Schneider for JT. It wouldn't be just that. Cousin Vinny, it wouldn't be just that. It'd be that. It'd be Schneider plus. Would be so New York Ranger in clearly down year to deal younger pieces for veterans. Yeah, I know. I this is the hard part that I'm having with these rumors is like, this is why it has happened. They want to trade age for age, and the Canucks aren't interested in that. Are those actually what the teams want for Miller, or are these just would be an idea? These are the names that keep flying around. They literally keep flying around. I think there's some fire there because of all the smoke. Who's the second line center? If we moved either of these guys, Zibanejad is a major downgrade from Miller. Yes, that's why the Canucks don't want Zibanejad. No to Zibanejad and Keandre Miller. Yes to Lafreniere and Sanders. So there you go. But I wouldn't trade JT Miller. I mean, if him and Pettersson can't coexist, funny, JT Miller would fight to the end like the Black Knight from Monty Python's Holy Grail. PD is crushed by tendonitis. Oh, my goodness. No to Zibanejad. Heck no, I agree. They still selling DeBrusk jerseys in Boston? Yeah, they're not trading DeBrusk. So Cooley is his name. Okay, thank you so much, Alfred. Cooley. The entire league agrees that Zibanejad's no trade. Nobody wants him. That's true. Or less what it sounds like. How about the Canucks dump the inconsistent soft center that disappears for a year at a time? Well, that's the newest rumor that I should get into next. It's Pettersson going to the New York Rangers. So maybe that'll be my next video. Well, I'm doing the post-game show tonight, so it won't be my next video. It'll be the one after that. But I still need to do my power rankings for 2024. So I got a lot of work to do, people. If Lafreniere doesn't have first overall pick attached to his name, him and Schneider to Vancouver would have already been done. Kenny C. That's a good point. Very good point. PD for Sabres, Darlene. I don't think they would do that. But no to Zibanejad, maybe to Lafreniere and Schneider. Rags needs to throw in a sweetener like second rounder or Rempe. Just saying. Or Cooley even better. Yeah, a lot of people say it's interesting, but the Canucks aren't interested in it from what I've been hearing. This core have peaked. Trade Pettersson and Miller. That's going to be hard to do. Okay, so let's just say we do that. Okay, let's just say we do that. And let's say it's Trocheck and Schneider for Miller. Okay, whether we get a pick or not doesn't matter. And let's just say it's Pettersson for Dobson and I don't know who else. I got to redo research. Are you happy with that? Are you happy with that? It'd be Dobson and a bunch of players. Like I have it up here somewhere, don't I? Where is that one? I have it somewhere. There is a trade one about that. Like that's what we're talking about, right? Kipiros was told last night to cool the jets on the Miller stuff. Miller hasn't asked for a trade. I was told last night that Miller does not have a favorite city he would waive his no trade or no movement clause for. Miller is focused on playing for the Canucks. Those around the league don't think Canucks have the to have the guts to trade Pettersson. Agents on the Canucks are getting a laugh out of some of the rumors floating around. So that's there you go. There you go. There's some stuff there. If we're getting Schneider and Lafreniere, there's no way we have to ship a pick as well. Yeah, probably. We might be able to throw in Desharnais into the deal. Lankinen is playing every game for the rest of the season. We need to extend him now. I don't think we need to do it right now. Lafreniere was a stud in the playoffs. Yep, he was. Yeah, they were on the World Juniors together. They have been best friends since. I rather have them together on the Canucks, but would be cool to see what they can do in New York. Yeah. If it takes this to get done, would you do Miller and Besser for first, Lafreniere, and Malika? Let me just see. What am I missing here? I'm looking at that. Oh, and Zibanejad is what you're trying to say. So Zibanejad, Lafreniere, Schneider, and a first. I would seriously consider that. I'm not kidding you right now. And I love Brock Besser and Miller. Lafreniere should never have signed that deal. He can be a 100-point player. $7 million is nothing. PD for Dobson, I would do. It's Dobson plus. That's what's crazy about that. We're not trading Miller, Blazer fan. I don't care what people say. A lot of the issues stem from the back end. But this is part of getting – Blazer fan, you're the guy who's been saying we need to trade with the New York Rangers to get Schneider, to get Cooley. So what do you think it's going to cost to get those guys? They're young. So please post in the comments that. EP40 to Buffalo, Cousins and Byram. That's been a trade rumor that's been happening around. Would you guys do that? Miller for Lafreniere and Schneider. Mini retool. I mean, that's what we're talking about. Lafreniere, Dobson coming in. I would pull it. Wow. Any trade with the Islanders for Pettersson has to include Barzal, but that's not enough for Petey. I would love to get Barzal. I like him a lot. Okay, I say let's see how Miller and Pettersson do at Four Nations, play against each other, and find their game with other guys recouping after. It's fine. We don't have to make a trade today. Could Rutherford trade JT and Petey to the Penguins for Malcolm, Crosby, and a D? He could, but that'd be a terrible trade. Malkin and Crosby are at the tail end of their careers. You do not want them, guys. Crosby is 36 years old. This is craziness. This is pure craziness. Now, it's an interesting thought. It's something, yeah. I mean, of course, we would want Crosby in a Canucks uniform. Crosby is going to retire as a Penguin. You just need to understand that. You absolutely need to understand that. So, yeah, this is where we're at, everyone. This is where we're at. We're talking about JT Miller possibly getting traded. Locked On Canucks think that could be the biggest mistake in our franchise history. Like, there's others that are like, you do not trade Elias Pettersson, you trade JT Miller. And there's others that are like, you do not trade JT Miller, he's a warrior, but you trade Elias Pettersson if you're going to come down to it. I think what the Canucks are honestly trying to do is they're trying to trade neither one. They want them to coexist. They want to win cups with these guys. That's what is happening in Vancouver. That's exactly what's happening in Vancouver. Couple more comments here coming in. A lot of these trade proposals have no first or second line center coming back. Have we forgotten the darkest years where we had to draft Horvat because they were so thin up the middle? Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. But Zibanejad and Trocheck would be the centers, right? If we traded for one of those. Let's play this team to the end of the year. We have not been healthy all year, ride or die. Jason, I think that's what the goal is. That's what. But can they coexist? Can they play? We have 204 people in here, everyone. It's wild. Okay, I'm going to answer a few more questions. Let me hit the promo. And so if you haven't hit the like and subscribe, please do. Yeah, so I'm with you. I think that's what they want to happen. They don't want to make a deal. Stop the delusional Crosby talk. He ain't coming. Mike, you're right. I don't think Crosby's coming here. Absolutely not. If they could do Pettersson for Tage Thompson, Steve, the deal would be Tage Thompson and Byram, I believe, for Pettersson. But that would be the deal I would do. I love Tage Thompson. I absolutely love that guy. But that would be what I would want. Those two guys in return. But it was Cousins and Byram for Pettersson was the rumor. Who would you take out the Predators for either one of our star centers? Nobody. The media and fan base need to chill out on attacking Pettersson and JT. Really think these dudes want to perform when fans are bashing them? Mike, listen. I understand what you're saying. But I'm telling you, the clicks and the views and the conversations that are going on regarding this topic is not just in Vancouver land. It's literally league-wide. So this is the hottest topic. We're the most talked about team right now for all the wrong reasons. And you know what? It's part of being in the NHL, and it's part of making huge money that you need to perform. Both of them are not performing this year. Both of them have had rifts with each other. So it is what it is. Like, don't be a professional athlete if you don't like this kind of stuff. Is it hard? Yes. Is it difficult to go through? 100%. Do I have compassion? Yes, I do. But at the same time, it's like, you signed up for this. If you want to make $11.6 million a year and you want to make $8 million a year from JT Miller, that's part of the thing. You want to play in Vancouver? You want to play in Toronto? You want to play in Edmonton? You want to play in Calgary? You want to play in Winnipeg? You want to play in Montreal? You want to play in Ottawa? Like, that's what it's like. Because fans care. Go play. They can go play in Carolina or Columbus or Anaheim, where people don't care. We're a passionate fan base, bro. We're a passionate fan base. Blazer fan says, like Elias Pettersson and Wielander will be coming soon. Even if we miss the playoffs, we got 3 D-men coming off the books. We can look at the waivers and see what we can grab or maybe get Pulock. Yeah, that's true on the Islanders. Yeah. I would rather Dobson personally, but PD for Trocheck, Schneider, and a close NHL prospect or a first. I hope reigns. That's what some people, this is what people think is a realistic trade with the Rangers. It's tricky because if you don't make a trade, what happens if they can't coexist? You don't want one or both to demand a trade a year out. Exactly. But yeah, every time they lose a game, Pettersson is blamed. Well, because he's been terrible this year. He's been terrible since January, dude. He played good when JT Miller was gone. And then guess what? 6 games without a point. Plays well against the San Jose Sharks. I was at that game, saw Pettersson strike 2 goals. He was amazing that night and gets injured. So it's on his shoulders. It's on JT's shoulders. It's on Quinn Hughes' shoulders. Our core has to be good. So, Mike, I'm with you, man. You can't blame it all on Pettersson. But, dude, you can't be producing like he's producing and getting paid that much money. The fans want more. The organization. Listen, Alvin could have killed all these rumors by doing this one thing, by closing the door to the trade rumors. He kicked the door open and said anything's possible. He said that Pettersson is not be able to handle the pressure, and he said that Pettersson is so frustrating because he's not mature enough at this stage. He wants more of him. That's what he said. This is not, you're talking about the media, and dude, we're talking the general manager of the Vancouver Canucks. So, just interesting talk, right? We're going to repeat the beret for Jovanovski trade. I mean, Jovanovski was awesome. They're making 11.6 more sheets than me. I can't bash their bull crap all I want. Be a pro. Exactly. I get that, but some of us forget these dudes are human. I know they're human, but come on. If we lose one of the centers for a top D man and someone, we better sign Johnny Taves to recruit that center player. Hey, Andrew, good to see you. I am doing well. By the way, everyone, just a reminder, because I remember that Andrew's a huge Sherwood fan, Kiefer Sherwood fan. I'm doing a live stream tonight after the Canucks Predators game. So pumped about that. And Canucks Uncensored are going to be on with me. It's going to be a great night. So when the game ends, I'm going live. Join me tonight for the post-game show, Canucks Predators. Give Johnny Taves a comeback shot with Vancouver. Sounds good to me. Places with Jordan. Why are people so soft on Petey? Don't you wish you were making $11 million to play pro hockey, right? Jordan, aren't you on Canucks Uncensored? Because that picture looks like you, man. Just saying. I think that is you. Miller scored a goal on November 16th. Petey scored 5 goals in that time. They both have had assists. Last night, Miller passed it to Myers, who scored the game-winning goal. Miller scored the only goal in the shootouts, won the game. So, afternoon to you too, Marcus. Good to see you, man. Okay. Yes, it was Canucks Uncensored there. Got you. Okay, we need defensive help. Guys look sometimes like we can't even get out of our own end. Fact. Long term, do I think trading any of them away will be beneficial to Canucks? I do think trading any of them away would be beneficial to Canucks. But if I had to trade Petey, yeah, you'd trade Pettersson. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why people are soft on him. The only reason I say trade Pettersson is his cap hit. Steve, that's a good point. Point guard says JT Miller has a horse cock mentality. Great player. I love that guy. I love JT Miller. Woodsy all day. Absolutely. Enjoy the game, everyone. Tiresome navel gazing is over. Go Canucks, go. Free Grogu. Looking forward to joining you tonight. That's awesome, man. I'm pumped too. I am pumped too. I called that Miller goal in the shootout. Awesome. Yes, I got that. Honestly, think Pettersson wants. Yeah, he might want out. That's true. JT, hey, Bing Tang, we're using his YouTube emoji. If you become a Kempner Canucks member, you get access to all the emojis, all the stuff. It's only $4.99. Pick it up, guys. I'd encourage it. If you can't afford it, no problem. There's 235 people in here. All the people say, you need to stop talking about this. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. This is like, people want to talk about this. To New York, Green says, JT, Hoglander, Vinny Desharnais, and a first. To Vancouver, Lafreniere, Schneider, and Keandre Miller. Even if we have to add fixes RD and we get another centerman plus, get younger overall. But the problem is, I don't think is Lafreniere a centerman. I think he's a right winger. But yes, I would be open to that deal. Bottom line, I mean, I think that deal would be really good. Steve says, bottom line, Pettersson simply isn't tough enough. We all knew that when we drafted him. Mark says we need a puck-moving defenseman, but maybe costly, 100%. Point guard says, hit the like. Thank you so much. Elston says, I hope I didn't butcher your name. Probably did. I apologize if I did. Pettersson can't hang when the games get tough, unfortunately. I mean, that has been true. Then watch when and if Pettersson goes to another team, he'll be on fire again. And that's fine, as long as we get someone who produces for us. Never stop talking, Kemp. Thank you. Thank you. I just think like this is worth the conversation, isn't it? That sucks. The emojis don't show up when you hate showing them on screen. They show up on YouTube. That's what they show up. So most people watch on YouTube. There are Facebook people as well, but they don't show up on. I'm using a streaming platform. Doesn't show up here. Get PD to eat more moose steaks. It will toughen him up. I love that, cousin Vinny. Have no hate. Sorry, I don't know what that means. If PD had half the heart and fire of Millsy, we wouldn't be talking about trading him. He is a talented player, but Miller is the one to get us back in the game when we need it. You're probably not wrong on that. Ratu for Matthew Robertson, prospect for prospect. Matthew Robertson is a type of D-men we need. I like that. If Pettersson had Miller's fire and packed on 20 more pounds, he'd be unstoppable. I agree. Mike says, Kempner, no BS. Because of you, I want the Canucks to win the cup in the near future. This is an Oilers. What? Thank you. That's a great compliment. Wow. Yeah, I want the Canucks to win a cup too. It has been a long journey of ups and downs, and more downs than ups. Let's just be honest. So I just really want us to win a cup. The problem is you got teams like your Oilers that are standing in our way, Vegas, all these great teams. It's tough to win. It's tough to win, guys. It's tough to win, and then you got to go play the other side, and then Florida and all these. It is what it is. If defense is struggling, usually the offense struggles too. I don't think trading either one of our top two centers is a good idea. They have to play hockey, and that's it. I agree, but we might trade them, man. Yes, trade Miller and watch PD go insane as a top forward. That's fine. I would rather watch JT Miller, but if that happens, we win a cup, let's do it. This year, if Miller had Miller's fire, he'd be unstoppable. I agree with that statement. He has not been great this year. You tried, Calvin. Oilers is a bad word around here. No, it's not. You can talk about the Oilers. You can talk about McDavid and Draisaitl and Bouchard and go for it. Yeah. For real, who didn't want to see the Sedin twins bros Yes, Sedin Bros hoist a cup and finger. I mean, I think there's a lot of people in the NHL didn't want us to, but we did. We did. Martin's here, okay? The Canucks need to squash this. Unfortunately, I don't think that I've ever seen an injured player traded. What would we trade for Miller? I've just talked for 40 minutes about that. So please go back later and there. Yeah. Try Settle McDavid at first. Yeah, right. JT started with 5 very poor playoff performances just because he wasn't in Van yet. Lest we forget. 6, maybe 6. Yeah, it's fine. I don't care what he did in other teams. I care what he does for Vancouver. But your point is valid, Green. Your point is very valid. Okay, everyone, I got to run. We got a game coming up in a couple hours. Please join me tonight and join Canucks Uncensored as we discuss the post-game show, the Canucks Predators game tonight. I absolutely want to connect with you there. 245 people here, and it's 5:00 Pacific time. Guys, girls, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Let's cheer this team on, and of course, always, hit the like and subscribe, and go Canucks, go.